Hello, fellow voiceover stars. It is your friend and mentor, Bailey Varnas here, also known as the Vocal Supermodel. So, today's video is part 6 in our Perfect American Accent series, and we are going to learn about long diphthongs. Now, if you liked our diphthong work that we did in the last video, you are going to love long diphthongs. If you didn't, I'm sorry, but hang on, because this is the last of the vowel sounds, and it will get easier very soon. Now, before we get started, as always, I want to make sure you've already watched the introduction video for this series that I'll have linked below in the description, because in it, there is an assignment for you to do so that you have a good recording of your natural sound before you learn this material. And then you'll record your new sound after you finish this course. So be sure to watch that and record your before so that you can see your growth once you're done. And if you've already watched and recorded yourself, then let's get started. So today, we are going to work on what are known as long diphthongs. Now again, the definition of a diphthong is a sound formed by the combination of two vowels in a single syllable in which the sound begins as one vowel and moves toward another. So there are 5 long diphthong sounds, and they are A, I, oi, o, and ow. So they're called long diphthongs mostly to differentiate from the obvious R diphthongs, but they're basically classic diphthongs. The first part of the diphthong is longer than the second part. That's why it has a dot after the first vowel sound and not after the second. So this is how diphthongs should be technically written and understood. And with long diphthongs, there are certain mouth placements that they all share. So to form these sounds, you want to make sure you have a relaxed lower jaw. The tip of your tongue is behind your lower front teeth. You arch your tongue and round your lips to varying degrees depending on the first vowel sound you're trying to make. And you slide your tongue to create the second vowel sound. So since we've already practiced almost all of these vowel sounds individually, let's go through each long diphthong one by one and try some practice words and sentences. So we're going to start with A. Now phonetically, A is a combination of the front vowel E and another front vowel I. You sometimes see it written with a lowercase e into the I sound, but the lowercase e isn't really a traditionally phonetic letter. So the correct writing and pronunciation of it is the long E sound with a dot after it to show it's the longer sound into the short I sound. So it's a soft glide from E to I that makes the proper diphthong A. A. So the mechanical placement for the correct pronunciation of A is a relaxed lower jaw. The tip of your tongue is behind your lower front teeth. You arch the front of your tongue to make the eh sound, and you slide your arch higher and raise your jaw slightly to make the I sound. So that's the proper placement for the diphthong A. Now let's try it a few times. A, A, A. So now, let's say a few A words for practice. So repeat after me. Pay, pay, pay. Train, train, train. Delay, delay, delay. Taper, taper, taper. Gray, gray, gray. Frail, frail, frail. Relate, relate, relate. Faded, faded, faded. Now we're going to do a few short sentences to make sure the A sound is really working for you. Create a trail by the bay. Create a trail by the bay. Take it to the neighbor's doorway. Take it to the neighbor's doorway. The player had a great game. The player had a great game. A waiter brought a gourmet entree. A waiter brought a gourmet entree. So those are a few ways the A sound can present itself. So listen for the A sound in words that you hear the different ways that it comes up, and practice with more words in your Perfect American Accent workbook. But for now, we are going to move on to the next long diphthong, I. Now, phonetically, I is a combination of the front vowel A and another front vowel I. Now, you may have noticed we didn't go over the front vowel, ah. And that's because we really don't use it in General American. We use the back vowel, ah. It's a more relaxed sound. Ah tends to be very short and British sounding. But it's how you're going to see it written, so I wanted to mention it. So it's the long version of the sound with a dot after it to show it's the longer sound into the short I sound. So it's a soft glide from to I that makes the proper diphthong I. So the mechanical placement for the correct pronunciation of I is a relaxed lower jaw. The tip of your tongue is behind your lower front teeth. The front of your tongue is very low to make the sound. And you slide your tongue higher and raise your jaw slightly to make the I sound. So that's the proper placement for the diphthong I. Now, let's just try it a few times. I. So now let's say a few I words for practice. So repeat after me. Buy. Tie. July. Wild. Hide. Wine. Tribal. Hyphen. Now we're going to do a few short sentences to make sure the I sound is really working for you. The spy wore a disguise. The spy wore a disguise. Fly a kite to the sky. Fly a kite to the sky. A bride in white. A bride in white. The writer described the library. The writer described the library. So those are a few ways the I sound can present itself. So listen for the I sound in words that you hear the different ways that it comes up, and practice with more words in your workbook. And now we are going to move on to the next long diphthong, oi. Now phonetically, oi is a combination of the back vowel aw and the front vowel I. So it's the long version of the aw sound with a dot after it to show it's the longer sound into the short I sound. So it's a soft glide from aw to I that makes the proper diphthong oi. So, the mechanical placement for the correct pronunciation of oi is a relaxed lower jaw, the tip of your tongue is behind your lower front teeth, you arch the back of your tongue halfway and really round your lips to make the aw sound, and slide your tongue forward and upward and relax your lips to make the I sound. So that's the proper placement for the diphthong oi. Now, let's just try it a few times. Oi, oi, oi. So now, let's say a few oi words for practice. So repeat after me. Boy, boy, boy. Joint, joint, joint. Oil, oil, oil. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. Voice, voice, voice. Noisy, noisy, noisy. Loiter, loiter, loiter. Royal, royal, royal. Now we're going to do a few short sentences to make sure the oi sound is really working for you. The loyal employer was joyful. The loyal employer was joyful. An oyster took a voyage. An oyster took a voyage. The coin destroyed the foil. The coin destroyed the foil. Soybeans from Boise and Des Moines. Soybeans from Boise and Des Moines. So those are a few ways the oi sound can present itself. So listen for the oi sound in words that you hear the different ways that it comes up, and practice with more words in your workbook. And now we are going to move on to the next long diphthong, O. Now, phonetically, O is the combination of the back vowel O and the back vowel U. So it's a longer version of the O sound with a dot after it to show it's the longer sound of the two, into the short sound. So it's a soft glide from O to that makes the proper diphthong O. O. So the mechanical placement for the correct pronunciation of O is a relaxed lower jaw, a little more than half closed. The tip of your tongue is behind your lower front teeth. You round your lips and arch the back of your tongue halfway to make the O sound. And slide your tongue upward and relax your lips to make the sound. So that's the proper placement for the diphthong O. Now, let's just try it a few times. O, O, O. So now let's say a few O words for practice. So repeat after me. Bow, bow, bow. Snow, snow, snow. Coping, coping, coping. Sober, sober, sober. Robe, robe, robe. Drone, drone, drone. Moment, moment, moment. Ocean, ocean, ocean. Now we're going to do a few short sentences to make sure the O sound is really working for you. Your rowboat is below. Your rowboat is below. Use soap for your nose. Use soap for your nose. The loaves have mold. The loaves have mold. It snowed on the gold stone. It snowed on the gold stone. So those are a few ways the O sound can present itself. So listen for the O sound in words that you hear the different ways that it comes up, and practice in that workbook. And finally, we are going to move on to the last long diphthong, ow. Now, phonetically, ow is a combination of the back vowel ah and another vowel So it's a longer version of the ah sound with a dot after it to show it's the longer sound of the two into the short sound. So it's a soft glide from ah to that makes the proper diphthong ow, ow. So the mechanical placement for the correct pronunciation of ow is a relaxed lower jaw, a little more than half closed. The tip of your tongue is behind your lower front teeth. You relax your lips and tongue to make the ah sound, and slide your tongue upward to make the sound. So that's the proper placement for the diphthong ow. Now, let's just try it a few times. Ow, ow, ow. So now let's say a few ow words for practice. So repeat after me. Cow, cow, cow. Mount, mount, mount. About, about, about. Rowdy, rowdy, rowdy. Cloud, cloud, cloud. Spouse, spouse, spouse. Towel, towel, towel. Sour, sour, sour. Now we're going to do a few short sentences to make sure the ow sound is really working for you. The devout crowd was loud. The devout crowd was loud. Accountants count the endowment. Accountants count the endowment. The flower needs a shower. The flower needs a shower. A town with thousands of trout. A town with thousands of trout. So, those are a few ways the ow sound can present itself. So, listen for the ow sound in words that you hear and hear the different ways that it comes up or doesn't come up. So, those are the 5 long diphthongs. So, it can be a really helpful exercise to say them in order so that you can physically feel the difference in your mouth. So, the 5 long diphthongs in order should sound like this. A, I, oi, o, ow. A, I, oi, o, ow. I, oi, o, ow. So that's a great way to practice your long diphthongs and make sure that you're feeling and experiencing the subtle differences in your mouth. Now, in the next video, we are finally going to leave the land of vowels and move on to consonants. But for now, get to practicing by using your Perfect American Accent workbook. If you don't have the workbook yet, there is a link to it in the description. I will send it right to you, and you can get to perfecting those long diphthongs and all the other vowels. So keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next one.